Hi everyone, it's Cornisha Syrup. I wonder if it makes people mad if I say that I'm a gay transgender Muslim. I don't know. It probably does for the normal people. But, I just say it because look, I'm just doing what everyone else is doing. They're saying that they're an identity, and so then they believe they're that identity because they're mentally ill or they're delusional or whatever, right? Because you're not an identity, you're a human being, you're an individual. That's what you are. You are whatever you are. For example, I'm a Cornisha syrup. I'm not a group hive mind. I think that's a very poisonous way to think, right? Well, anyway, that's a really good way to start off the point of this video. Again, remember that my videos, I just make a video every day and a short every day because I say why not? I like to create things and it's fun. And if I make mistakes, then everyone will tell me because I'm just I don't know what a mistake. I don't know if I'm just creating something. You know, look, I'm having my opinions, right? So that's all. I'm probably wrong, and that's good. Being wrong is better than being pretending to be right. That's my opinion. Anyway, that's my opinion. Anyway, so there's a lot of people who in my experience with normal people, right? And again, I'm talking about the humans, right? Who, and I was diagnosed with Asperger's, right? I still have I still have burgers up my ass, right? But for whatever reason, the guy who invented Asperger's is apparently someone who likes the Nazis, right? And but I don't remember if he's alive or dead. I really don't care. He's probably not alive. But to be fair, I don't know why that's an issue, right? If he liked that, I mean, most humans are evil, right? They like things that are bad and evil, right? I mean, look at most human look. There's a lot of humans, right, who like all sorts of terrible things, right? There's a whole group of people who likes Islamic terrorism, right? they call it um, they call Islamic terrorists victims, like Hamas is a terrorist group. Then they say that Hamas, the terrorist group, is Palestine. It represents all of Palestine. So these people are insane. They're crazy. They're liberals, right? They're liberals. They're part of a cult. A cult of liberalism is a normal thing. That's why normal people are poisonous and evil, right? Because they just do what everyone else is doing, and they just try to belong to something, even if it's wrong. So I know this is a tangent, and that's fine, right? Like I said, I don't care if anyone watches this. I like to go on tangents, and I'm not going to censor myself, although I might change things if I get someone, criticizing what I'm doing, and then I might say, oh, that's a good point. I like criticism. If you have criticism, please let me know. I love to know about whatever you think I'm doing wrong. I think it's interesting, and I might apply it to the next video because I'm just doing this because it's the only way I can learn about what other people think, what I think by saying my thoughts out loud and putting it over the internet for everyone to see and for everyone to make a mockery out of me. But one thing I've noticed, and I was watching with my friend the Love on the Spectrum, the autistic dating show, reality show, and one of the people, I don't know what their name is, but they were talking to the neurotypicals and their family, and I noticed that the neurotypicals, well, you know how neurotypicals are. They love to drink alcohol and, they like to poison their body because poison is a is it's a very normal thing to put in your body, because corporations have brainwashed the majority of humans into thinking that poisoning your body is a good idea, likely so that they can profit off of your poisoned body and make you take pharmaceuticals and make you go to the doctor all the time, and all the preservative food that the normal people eat, full of nitrites and sulfites and all that, and food colorings, artificial flavors and artificial colorings, but also just alcohol and drugs, which is tobacco and cough syrup and all the rest of that. And of course you have the whole ghetto culture where they just openly take, they put nitrous propellant up their nose and call it galaxy gas, whatever, or they drink cough syrup with soda. I mean, and these people are crazy, obviously. I just don't understand how, even if you are normal, how you can just look at poison, put it in your body, and say, "Good, this is good. I'm gonna drink and put poison in my body every day," and say this is a good idea. Like it's crazy to me how that works. But I don't know. That's what they do. And also, I would say also obviously any kind of drugs, including, I'm not a doctor, but I don't personally ever take any pharmaceutical drugs. It's just not good for you. I used to know people who had 20 or 30 different drugs because they had to take a drug and then another drug to counteract the side effects of that drug, and then another and another and another, and it's crazy. And then of course you have chemotherapy that's just poison, because let's poison the body so that we kill a couple of tumors, maybe the off chance we might do that, but in the meantime we're going to kill all the cells in the body with radiation. I mean, these people are, I mean, everything's just crazy, right? It's like there's just so much poison, so much toxins and all that. So I suggest to anybody, if you can just think for yourself, look up diets. Nutrition is good. That's all you need. A good healthy diet and maybe a little bit of exercise every day. And meditation, if you know how to do that, it helps. I do an hour a day, and I do Tai Chi for 15 minutes a day, something like that, and then some other exercises. But not much. Maybe a walk twice a week, just because I have to go out and do something. But or once a week, usually. But poison for your body. I neurotypicals, they're unable to think about these things, and I think that autistic people have to kind of show the non-autistic people how to function, because I don't think they know how to function. They just, it always confuses me how people just they just always eat food that's bad and they drink soda. I mean, they're gonna do that, right? Most people are just gonna do that regardless of what you say or whatever. But you know, you have a choice, right? You're a human. I think some of you, at least some of you, maybe not all. Most people might not even be able to choose, right? They just need someone to tell them what to do. But I think that all you need, if you want to be healthy, right, is just eat healthy, which is whole food, meat, fruit, and vegetables, and that's about, yeah, maybe, yeah, that's it. And yogurt or kefir, and try not to, waste time doing things unless it seems to be helping you. Don't do something that's not helpful, right? If you think going to the club, and dancing or socializing there with all those loud music and stuff is good. That's fine. But don't drink, don't do any drugs. You can do that. Just do everything you're doing, but don't do drugs and don't poison yourself, right? Don't poison yourself with alcohol or drugs or any, food that has MSG or any of this bad additives to it. Just be simple, be healthy, you know, because clearly a lot of people, including doctors and dentists and everybody else, are being poisoned constantly, and it really does disorient you. So just relax, do what just eat simple, and try to research some of this for yourself and try different kinds of diets, and realistically, don't this is just what I do, right? This is what I do. If you need a doctor to tell you what to do, that's fine, do that. That's I'm not a doctor, right? Even though I think I know better. I can't say that I am a doctor, and I can't say that I have nutritional advice, because I guess I'm assuming that's what it is. But anyway, as an autistic person, I think that you should just be with your emotions. Just feel your emotions, be with them, accept your pain, and accept whatever feelings you're having, and accept that whatever's happening is what the universe or divine spirituality wants you to function as, including the pain, including the confusion, and including all the problems you're having. And of course, being healthy is the most important thing. Eating nutritiously helps you stay grounded. So don't do drugs. If you're in pain, you don't have to do drugs. They're not going to help you in the long run, right? Drinking is not going to help you. It's going to degrade your ability to cope with health, with reality, and it's going to not ground you. It's going to make you dysfunctional. So just relax, focus, and if you're in pain, just try to stay with the pain and don't try to get away from it. Don't take any drugs or anything. Just you know, you know, notice the pain and relax with it, and try to sit with the pain, right? And try to relax with it. The exercise I do, if you want to know, every I meditate about six 5 or 6 times. I was gonna say 6 or 7, but I could do that. I haven't done 7 that much, but generally 5 or 6 times I meditate for 10 minutes at a time, and then sometimes just in a row. So, and then depending on what I want to do during the day, it's helpful to do it in the morning. And then the way I meditate, I breathe deeply, one, and then exhale into the heart, feeling the heart. And then I do that about 5 or 6 times, or 7 times, actually 6 or 7 times. This time 6 or 7 times. And then about a minute or two, I do that at least 3 times. Breathe in and out while focusing on the heart, and then move down for the rest of the 8-minute duration or so, and just notice the emotions in your solar plexus or in your belly, underneath the rib cage, and it should help ground you if you need to be grounded, and it really helps me, right? And if you can just stop the poison, all the poison, if you can, I don't know. Look, I don't do, I haven't poisoned my body in a really long time, because I realized a long time ago it's not a good idea. So, a lot of other people might be really poisoned, so you might have to get, a doctor to help you with that. I don't know. Don't take my word for it. I'm just a random autistic person. But if you haven't poisoned yourself that much, then eat healthy, do some meditation, focus, and, even the neurotypicals that are watching, if you are watching, you can do this too. And everyone can just get along and not be angry at the autistic and the Asperger people. Just because we have burgers up our ass doesn't mean we're ass burgers. Yeah, fucking Aspergers. No, no. I mean, we are Aspergers. That's what we're diagnosed with. But we're not mean ass people, right? We're not donkey people. I'm not. Yeah, I'm a Democrat, but not a modern Democrat, right? But anyway, great. There you go. So relax, be happy or not happy. Just accept what is happening if you can, and eat healthy, and try to avoid any poison. Especially if everyone else is doing it. I've gone to all sorts of parties, and I've gone to clubs. I went to all sorts of weird situations where everyone was doing drugs around me, but not me. Like literally, I've been through so many. I've been around so many people who just constantly do drugs and drink alcohol, and I don't do it. You can hang around these people and not do anything they're doing. You shouldn't poison yourself just because everyone else is. You should do what you need to do for you as an individual. There you go. So thank you, and I hope do whatever you want, right? I'm just giving my opinion, right? That's it. I'm not telling you what to do. So thank you.